Well, hello beautiful friends. Today we are making curtido. Have you ever, this is like the best bowl I ever got. I've had this for probably a decade. It's amazing. If you ever have to feed a crowd, this is your bowl. All right, so I have no idea how many cabbages I have in here. I'm totally gonna have to guess. It's like 5, 6 maybe. So I am going to do, I don't know, we'll see how much I can fit in my other bowl. But we're gonna first start by just taking the shredded cabbage and getting some salt onto it, rubbing it in just like you would with sauerkraut. So curtido is a Salvadorian condiment. It's very similar to sauerkraut. It has carrot, onion, an oregano. I have a Mexican oregano that I'm using, and spicy peppers, some sort of spicy pepper that you're adding to it. That's kind of what does it for me. The combination of the onion and the spicy pepper in there with the cabbage is just so good. With fermentation, it's all about having enough salt with the raw veggie to kind of make that magic happen. So if you go too short on the salt, you may not get the fermentation to work. And then you can get some yucky things growing in it, and that's no fun for anybody. Okay, so everything's clean. I wiped down the counters, everything is clean, my hands are clean, the bowl is clean. And then I am just going to start working this salt in. I might decide I need more salt, but I think this is gonna be okay. So basically per head of cabbage, you wanna do about 1.5 tablespoons. You could probably get away with 1, and you could probably get away with 2. And then my hope is I might be able to get another cabbage in here once this works itself down. In that case, I will add more salt. All right, so we just have to be patient, and I'm gonna let that sit for a bit. So while my cabbage is kind of sitting there in the salt, this is my very first carrot harvest. It's not too bad, right? These were the carrots that I interplanted with the eggplant. It was an experiment, wanted to see how it would work, and it worked really good as far as like size and quantity. They did incredibly well. There's still a bunch that I haven't harvested yet because they're tiny. But here's what happened. Things started eating them. Seems like 2 different kinds of things. One, some little bug, and one probably a little creature like a chipmunk. So some are perfect by growing your own standards. Perfect. A lot of them have legs and other appendages. I would say a whole lot of them have legs. 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 But overall, I'm pretty pleased with this, and what I will do is just go and, you know, I'll just trim that off, and that will go to the chicken or in the compost, and then I've got carrots. So I'll do 2 or 3 carrots per, depending on how big they are, like maybe 3 this size, per head of cabbage. You can do more if you like more carrot, less if you don't really like carrot. Leave it out if you don't want it. And then I'm gonna add onion. So I'm gonna slice a couple of my onions nice and thin and get those in. I might add a few more, and then a couple of hot peppers per head of cabbage as well. So it's kind of the ratio of how it all works. And then really I just get it all in a big bowl and see if I like what it looks like, and then go from there. I have lost so many tips of my fingers to these cheese graters, so I never go further than that anymore. Like, the big joke is there blood in anything Mom has grated? For a pickled cabbage that I can, which will be in my recap of the Every Bit Counts challenge. You put the salt on, you let it sit for quite a while, up to 24 hours if you want, and then you rinse the salt off. For fermenting, you're not rinsing that salt off. The salt is where it happens. So the salt stays on, it works itself down, it pulls the water out, and that's what creates its own like fermenting brine in the jars. So no rinsing. So you don't want to add the hot peppers and the oregano until the end, after you're done touching it with your hands mostly. And then just mix those up in there. I'm doing one batch without the super spicy peppers. So one will have super spicy peppers, one will not. So Dave needs to start eating more ferments, but he really struggles with spicy things, not making his belly feel great. So I'm doing this batch of Curtido for him, so I can start giving him some of this each day, but without the spice. And then mine will have the kick. Once we get this filled, we're gonna keep pressing it down, and then we're gonna put the weight on top of this. I don't have the fancy thing, the tamper, but I do have hands, and they push down really well. And yes, they're clean. Now it's gonna look like there's no liquid in here right now, but after it sits, we'll come back and I'll show you. Okay, our weight. Then our fermentation top. And then I will sit this on top of a bowl, and you'll see there's only this tiny little bit of liquid in here right now, but it should fill up. This entire thing should be filled with the brine. Okay, I'm gonna go out to the garden, get some spicy peppers for mine. Timing on this is gonna be tricky because it is so hot. I'm gonna check after 3 days. My salsa was done in 3 days. Actually, I have it sitting here ready to be labeled. If it's not done, check in 5 days, and then just keep going. I like it really sour, so I'm gonna keep it going as long as I can, but I don't want it to, you know, get like fizzy or weird or anything like that. So, okay, that's Curtido Day. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you.